Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the SAC Podcast. I'm G7, joined by Rays.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm over here.
I look at you on my screen. You're on this side, but it's mirrored.
Yeah, the overlay. So, Tournament 1's happened. Jeannie, you commentated finals, and you were there on tournament day.
Goodness, if any of you missed that set, I don't know what you're doing. Like, you had to have watched it. It was a set within a set. 5-map, absolute banger. Multiple 1-point games. Multiple in the best of 5 is a lot.
For sure. Yeah. So, we have something special in docket today. We're going to take Game 5 from that grand final series, and we're going to watch it. We're going to break it down a little bit. But before that, I think we have a couple housekeeping things on the docket that we need to get to before we start breaking games down.
Yeah.
Jeannie, if you wouldn't mind.
Well, besides the first tournament going on, I was just looking at the points breakdown of what was going on. We got a lot of. Did you see a lot of the upsets of teams that we thought were going to place higher that kind of went lower?
One of the teams that really surprised me is I saw Healthy Diet Food Group win bronze bracket. I expected them to place a little bit better.
It was Swiss was lethal. It was absolutely lethal. We had a 4-1 team make silver.
That is lethal.
Yeah, like I'm like, that's not fair. But then it was like, what are we supposed to do? We can't change the rule set. We just had that many strong teams, and how it went. As Ray's is disconnected, so I'm taking up both monitors now. This is funny. I'm gonna go like this. Someone on side. Oh, Ray's.
My Discord just crashed.
Discord crashed. Unfortunate. All right, I'll swap us. I'll swap us back. All right, I will be right back to set us back up.
Who doesn't love some technical difficulties?
Oh, yeah. No, it's not a true esports stream without something going a wire.
Yeah, we got to be just the right amount of scuffed. Just the right amount of scuffed.
But yeah, it's it was a lot of teams that had so many close sets. We saw like the difference between Healthy Diet Food Groups dropping so far to where they were in bronze bracket was honestly a bunch of 2-1s versus like teams that were insanely good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not overly surprised at the fact that we had some teams that dropped. Watch Bochi the Rock was 100% a team that came in under the radar. Then again, they were a late sign up.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a team, and Silly Kitties did not expect that kind of performance coming out of them.
Who's on Silly Kitties?
Let me scroll through our doc here. But we did know that Synergy was coming for the title. Synergy did win our first one. They won it in extravagant fashion. But they finally got their SAC win, which is something that they've been looking for. And Naywall had a really, really, really good run. They just got beaten by Armageddon. Right? Mm-hmm. That was they got beaten by Armageddon, who had they were 1 point twice away from winning the tournament. Twice. So
yeah, and early on my stream today, I was watching some of their sets, and they were looking really solid. So like, Nawal did not have an easy bracket for sure.
None of these teams really. All the teams worked so hard. It was so entertaining. But yeah, we've got our calendar to tell people about. We have a tournament coming up this weekend. The same time it is. I always forget what time Nick sets it. It's 2 p.m. right? Because they sleep in. I just outed Nick so hard.
Quick, Nick, tell us.
We do have on the 28th we have a tournament, and the January 28th we have a tournament, and on February 4th, back-to-back SAC weekends, which means you have back-to-back SAC podcasts.
Keeping us on our toes, that is for sure.
Mm-hmm. I loved how all the teams played. I was a little bit sad that nobody sent me clips. And then when I asked people for clips because they said they were going to send them to me, Nintendo said, "Hey, patch time, no replay codes."
Yeah, we got a little we got the short straw on patch day for sure. It was a good patch, don't get me wrong, but unfortunately replay codes went the way of the dodo bird. That being said,
you could probably talk a little bit about how that's going to shape up in our meta, because we know that our finals are coming down further past the road. That might be past the next season. So the next 3 tournaments, so tournaments 2, 3, and 4 will be, unless they have another patch before the season swaps,
which
we'll all be on the same patch.
Yeah.
And season and sorry, not season. Tournaments. Tournament 1 was on the first half of chill season, and the rest of them
Mm-hmm.
on the second half of chill season.
So, realistically, the biggest thing that the patch did, or the biggest thing the patch didn't do, is touch splash. There's been a lot of opinions, thoughts on Twitter about the patch and overall. Realistic, in my opinion, Splash getting away untouched here is a crime. Nintendo just, I think, majorly messed up. So the big thing, Double Splash is here to stay for the rest of the season. It's going to be centralized in the meta. Something that I noticed when I was watching these games earlier to prep is there was a lot of Splatling players, which makes me happy. Object Shredder is going to be a majorly important ability. That's how you're going to win your crab 1v1s. That's how your Splatlings are going to get a lot of value. That's how your bows are going to get a lot of value. That's how I expect things to break down. Is the expectation for me watching most of these tournaments is just going to be double crab, and then machine getting hit a little is... It's definitely slowed down a bit, so I'm expecting to see a couple less machines. That being said, I don't really expect much to change.
I feel from what I've been seeing in my true mid-level scrims, as I'm Div 3, 4, 5 area, the mid Div 4, that's where we're currently heavily sitting. Instead of seeing double splash, double sheen comps, I'm seeing double splash, machine, T-Tech comps.
Yeah, T-Tech was definitely a huge winner this patch.
Oh, absolutely.
The Trip Strike getting its area increased and then its damage amped.
Yeah, it's just better Booyah, and it kills Booyah.
It's a different Booyah. I don't know if it's a better Booyah. It's a different Booyah.
It's 3 small Booyahs.
Sure. Okay, we'll shake.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Instead of the giant, it's I guess it's like what Killer Whale is now to what it was before is what Booyah is to Tri-Strike.
Kind of.
I don't know. That's getting confusing. That's going off the rails now.
Yeah. The one thing that will be very interesting, at least in my opinion, to see is, will we see any silver arrow sprays?
Okay, well, off the record. What? I watched that set during lunch. What was what? Did you cook that? Was that you that cooked that up on that Limeade set, bro?
What are you talking about? Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Oh yeah. Well, the most recent one against Inkling that was on Falco stream.
Yeah.
Ludi tonight.
Platoon
tournament. Shout out to that one. That was a real tournament series.
Oh yeah, no, and shout out to Falco for streaming it. The arrow spray has been kind of the special for a long time. I've been really high on arrow since S1. Because not S1, S2.
I was gonna say S1.
No, for some reason I just said S1. I just my spirit left my body for some reason. And I think arrow is still in a good spot. Fizzy Bomb is really strong. Crab tank doesn't like getting reef slid at. I think what arrow spray does is it allows supports to get more aggressive and paint faster compared to a junior. That being said, still doesn't beat splash. That's really the big thing, is even with the arrow spray
what
buffs,
does
again, Nintendo, why did we let Splash get away with that?
It's, you look at Nintendo and you look at the Tri-Strike. Tri-Strike got a buff. What weapon has the least amount of points to get Tri-Strike? Is it the Brella? Is it the Slosher? Is it the Blaster? No, it's the Shooter.
Yeah, it's the Shooter, but also I'm okay with leaving T-Tech where it is because Krim got the lineups, but that's a little off topic.
God.
That's a little off topic.
No, we should tell people. It's a good tip to say. I think you should break it down because you're a little more knowledgeable on how to get 3 Tri-Strikes to land at the same time, which can also really split off zones and create a pseudo wall. Just think of if you ever played if you've ever seen a game called Valorant, it's like putting up a giant wall, or an Overwatch, like Reinhardt holding his shield so you can get through the choke. That's what Krim did with that Tri-Strike.
Yeah, it's really impressive. Basically, what you do is you just You fire one really high and you fire one in the medium arc, and you just throw one straight basically, and they'll all land at right about the same time. So you get that effect if you place them right. But we're getting a little off topic. This is an SAC podcast. So how are the point standings?
We're also here to help people like get some extra little tips.
That's true. That's true.
That helps everyone because mid-levels. What's mid-level without sharing some secrets and some tips?
Fair enough. That's
what makes it so awesome.
Let's look at the point breakdown.
Oh yeah,
if we can.
Synergy and Armageddon sitting at the top with 150 and 130 points respectively. Naywall taking the third place match over Silly Kitties. That's something that people take for granted. The third place match.
Mm-hmm.
The number of times when I played back in season 0 that we won the third place match because the other team did not show up was insane.
Mm-hmm.
We got first overall in the regular season because of that.
Real. Yeah, it just goes to show, don't sleep on that third place match.
I was gonna say Palm Trees had it, but twice we faced them in that third place match. Twice they didn't show up, and we just got free like 25 points.
Oh wow!
And because they didn't get those 25 points, they were placed below Disease Gang and had to play against Southern Lights as their opening match. Yeah,
that's rough.
Yeah.
All right, so with that little point breakdown, do we have any other announcements or house cleaning before we get into the analysis? Or are we just gonna go?
No. We're gonna see a little bit of a shakeup with the. Besides that, I'm looking at the list. I see like we have a little bit of a shakeup. I know the Synergy, Armageddon, Naywall, they'll be locked in. Silly Kitties have been doing are a stronger team and are becoming like an actual full team now. Going forward, I believe that's what I read, but I don't want to spread too many rumors. This is a podcast. Take that with an asterisk. Vivid played really well. Just had a tough break in their winner's side. A&P had a good run to get to top 8, but then dropped. Watch Bochi the Rock. They are a pickup. They're a hard pickup.
Okay.
But they're a good friend group. So we'll see what goes on and what the rules are going forward. Because I don't know if they'll get the same 4. I do know that
their core is going to be the same.
They're going to have at least Crim and Silver will be the same. I believe their third was Surskit, who they've been playing with. I want to say 5 months. Is that? They've been playing with Surskit for a little bit.
Yeah,
I believe that was their 4. So we'll see. They might watch Bochi the Rock might come down as a different team name, and we'll keep you updated on that. But Data, they're looking for a new member, so I know that's going to be a team that we might see falling off quite a bit.
Yeah. Just got a little whisper from Nick, the head TO. Quote, if you get a chance, hit him with the SAC teams, put your splash tags on Battlefy. You heard the head TO. Go put your splash tags in on Battlefy. They'll drop you. I know they will.
Yep.
You know they will too. Go do it. Get registered. Make sure everything is lined up and good to go.
And also, it's never too late to get in, because the teams that do play, your best 2 placements get full points, and your third and fourth come in at half point value.
So as long as you get in 2 tournaments, you're still sitting pretty good on the point scale. Just got to make sure that you get in 2.
With that, I believe that's all we need to do for our point breakdown. And I think it's time, Race.
Oh yes, it's my favorite time. This is the thing that I really enjoy. If anyone can't tell, I always have a lot of fun breaking things down and just like running around with hypotheticals. I just think it's incredible.
Oh yeah.
So
this is the time, because I know you're like, are we done yet? But we had to fill the show a little bit with the things that we have to get out of the way. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't get to see as many clips as I wanted to from everybody, because Patch.
Yeah, Patch definitely put a little damper on this.
Oh, but side note, everyone, make sure to @me. My @'s up there on Twitter. before tournament day, send me your stream link. I had 7 point of views that I was watching. Please.
That's
Please.
wild.
And I also caught a shiny Finizen, but that's a side topic.
So were you really watching?
I was. It just happened to be that we had some teams that had some technical difficulties. So during that 5-minute break between rounds, when everyone was doing some meme stuff, I gotta say, Vivid was just playing GooTubers and just doing 360s on max sensitivity. Yeah.
You know what? That sounds like a very Vivid thing to do.
Yeah.
So, all right. I think it's time.
There you go, Race. Take it away.
Yes. All right. So, SAC Grand Finals, Armageddon versus Synergy. Armageddon won the first 2 matches, and Synergy brings it back. Now, if you watched it live on tournament day, you'll already know how this series goes, but I have not watched this VOD at all. I'm just going to do the thing that I do, which is watch the game and give opinions. So, Tower Control Mako. What do you think of this map, Genie?
This map was great. Rolling out with the team comps, we had seen that the Hydra and the Heavy matchup had been going kind of at it throughout. We never saw a true Heavy v Heavy at any point in time because Synergy swapped over to the 96 gal whenever Armageddon was playing Heavy, which I found a unique matchup. The splashes versus the double splash versus the single splash, not surprised. The 52 gals have been going off all set. And it really comes down to how much value they can get out of this machine to stop the Hydra.
Yeah. Well, so I'm even looking at the machine to stop the double splash. Because I think Synergy has a better splash v splash matchup if the machine can go hard on controlling stacks.
This opening. I'm gonna make sure, because Rays can talk about this one set for 3 hours. So if I'm pushing Rays long, then you'll know.
Yeah. So I like what the Hydra's doing here at the opening, playing around stack. I think that's a fantastic position to play just because of how it plays around Crab and the fact the Hydra just has huge DPS. Unfortunately, they get pushed off the angle, which I don't like. And I wish they would just back away. That being said, the machine just walks up and gets absolutely obliterated.
Now we have a 3-down scenario for Synergy, and Armageddon's got 3 up. We have to kind of explain, because we will be putting this on to Spotify. So gotta explain a little bit of positions for our fellow Spotify viewers.
Yeah, I'm definitely not used to that. So thank you for doing that. Big thing right here is this defense was looking pretty good. Synergy, though, came around and flanked the Hydra on the tower as it pushed forward and couldn't really... and Armageddon couldn't really handle the pressure.
Bunny B had an insane set. They had played regular Slosher for one of the other games, but then now they are on Gal.
Yeah. Something that's interesting to notice is how well both teams are playing around stack. Stack is kind of the key to Mako Mart TC. If you hold stack, then you're going to have a much better time in pushing and in defending. Because as we saw right here, the 52 climbed up on stack, and then Armageddon just got absolutely massacred on the low ground. And now Synergy is squaring up for a fantastic attack.
Yeah, first checkpoint has fallen for Synergy. I like that Booyah placement. Really get that crab out of position.
Oh, yeah, no, the Booyah placement is fantastic here. Clearing that high ground is so critical. Especially versus a double crab team where you really need to control that. I think this Hydra's a little bit out of position on the high ground, if I'm being honest. I think they're a little out of the way, and that if our tower continued moving forward, they would struggle to find value.
Did you know you can arc from tower, and it's a really easy arc shot, and you clear the entire back of tower from there as a Hydra?
Really?
Yeah, it's actually phenomenal. Back when Ballpoint had the same range as Hydra in S2, I would just sit up there and just fall off people. And you're super safe. No burst bumps can hit you, no phases can hit you. That's the other thing. You want to be perfectly safe and have an ability to contest tower for your teammates.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The wave breaker out from Synergy to slow the push of Armageddon, I actually like. I just wish that Synergy had held with the Wavebreaker instead of just backing away, because we saw one jump out there and then another person just go down as they tried to back away. Like, I think if we're going to commit that resource, that Wavebreaker, we need to sit there with it. Maybe not with it, but nearby it and attempt to use the damage and information it gives us.
Yeah. Can I just say how amazing Heavy is to be in a spot where it has a Sprinkler and a Wavebreaker and is used on tower control? Those two have like very little value compared to other specials on tower control. Wavebreaker has value, but I find it loses a lot of it on tower control because you have the capability of having it run over or just shredded by the fact that Booyah Bombs and Tri-Strikes like to run at tower. Or you just move past it.
I don't know. I actually like Wavebreaker on the tower specifically because, again, if I'm trading Wavebreaker for Booyah, I'm okay with that. Like, special for special.
Oh, true.
But the thing that Wavebreaker does really well is it makes it really challenging to climb up the tower without taking 40 damage.
Ah, yes, that is a good point.
It makes it incredibly hard to climb up the tower without taking some damage. Because if you're going to get hit by one of the two waves as they come out, and then also it acts as a barrier for the person standing on the tower.
It does?
It does.
It doesn't.
Well,
it doesn't. Raze, come on. I play Ealer and Heavy and Range Blaster. That thing grabs bombs and makes it explode on me. In theory, it blocks the damage, but have you seen, in theory, blocking damage? I would like to show you to Brella Shields.
So, also, I was just talking about people shooting it.
Oh yeah, it blocks people shooting, but it catches every bomb. It will catch every single bomb, and you will die immediately to it because it doesn't block the bomb damage.
Mm-hmm. I would also like to point out bombs on tower are very predictable in how they explode and how they deal damage. So Genie, that just kind of sounds like a skill issue, my man. No? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That is a skill issue, I guess.
This push is looking really good. Having Hydra on tower here is fantastic, and Synergy just lets them touch second checkpoint. I actually really like this defense from Synergy. They let tower touch second checkpoint, and then as soon as it does, everyone jumps in on it, and the entire Armageddon team explodes.
Look at the number 36. Reza, I'm going to tell you, 36 is the number you got to keep in your mind, and everybody
36.
36.
36.
Second checkpoint on this map is, in my opinion, is where you make or break. And
and the interesting thing, I'm an anchor player. I'm a little biased towards talking about anchors. I think their style is really interesting. I think second checkpoint is where you can really tell anchors apart, because there are two specific styles that you can do when you get to that second checkpoint. You can stand on tower and try to run it forward, or in my opinion, what I think is smarter is backing away and standing on the stack behind the tower and then providing like Overwatch. So
yeah, I like that.
Yeah, because in my opinion, what it does is we know people are going to dive tower. Like whatever tower is on second checkpoint, I'm just going to pull out the pen to illustrate. Whenever tower is on second checkpoint, it can get attacked from a bunch of different angles, like a bunch of different angles. So what having some fire support on stack does is it helps mitigate the number of angles that we can get shot from, because an anchor on stack, if we're the attacking team, can hit a really nice shot on top right, and it can also hit really nice shots on like snipe and the snipe box. So then my frontliner on the tower can more effectively manage what's in front of them because their anchor is helping simplify the game for them.
I like that.
So, and the same principle applies, especially when you have an anchor on tower, but instead of the anchor simplifying the game by being back here, your frontliner is supposed to simplify the game by either taking like really close to the goal or crossing snipe.
Like, have you ever thought of the possibility of somebody being on that top left side as a Splatling player? No, other left side.
Other left side?
Yeah.
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 So
that is the Splatoon 2 Genie special.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You're just
and if you the ultimate BM, put a ballpoint beacon down.
Put a ballpoint beacon down. Oh my word.
And if you're feeling saucy, play Inkjet ballpoint and go right side.
So, Genie, I hate to burst your bubble. There is only an inkjet ballpoint.
Well, yeah, I do agree with you that putting a spotling or a charger or an Explo, even maybe a blob is really good on the stack. It provides so much more support.
Yeah.
And has a wider array of control.
Yeah. So this retake is also squaring up to look really nice from Synergy, but if we notice, there's only 3 Synergy members on screen. So the question I'm asking myself right now is, where is that 4th member? Because a flank here from Stack as the tower approaches first checkpoint would be devastating. Like, I think it just ends the push if that's where a player comes from. One person jumps away from Synergy. Oh, yep. Here comes the flank. Here comes the flank.
Papa Hotel went off on the flanks and just off on the splash this entire set.
And like I said, the flank comes through, the push gets just annihilated. And now Synergy is right back in pushing position. Genesis has to jump away here. It's like the only problem right now for the Synergy push is we don't have a way to get tower forward. We're not looking towards stack control, and we're kind of getting out, I don't want to say out-rotated, out-defended, I suppose. The defending team has the power positions and is making it really hard for us to push forward, us being Synergy.
Mm-hmm. And this is the second checkpoint under contestation. We do see how close this game is with under a minute remaining. 2-2 for the tournament point. If it's Synergy, it feels like this is your last good opportunity.
Yeah. Well, and the thing I'm also would really love to know is I would love to know how close Kipu is to Booyah.
See how all the members just start funneling in on the tower? Synergy, what do you got to watch out for is there's a killer whale that's ripping through tower. You've got Papa Hotel on the right stack with the crab, who's being like a pseudo spotling on that top right. And we see that the members of Armageddon are dropping like flies. Genesis, she's flying in on tower, leaving just Gray. Because half is on below the where Melons would be, gonna start heading to the Clams goal on Freezer.
Yeah,
there's a lot of ink there on that tower.
This defense looks really, really unstable for Armageddon. And the thing I want to know is, or the question that's in my mind right now, looking at this defense, is how close was the Kipu, the Hydra, to Booyah Bomb? Because
very not close. I can tell you that because they'd used it previously.
I'm going to rewind a little bit and see if we can figure it out. So they have Booyah right here, although this is a minute left. So they have time to use this. They don't. They end up going down.
50%.
So yeah, so now they're right about 50%. Because right here, for Armageddon, I'm basing my entire defense off this Hydra Booyah. Because that Hydra Booyah is what's going to just cinch this game up for me.
The problem with Hydra is you don't, like, when you need your special, you don't paint for it. Your special is just a passive thing that builds up with area control. It's not a weapon that's like, oh, I can really just like, quote, let me just go get my special really quickly. It doesn't do that at all very well.
And even if it doesn't do that very well, I still think that's just the correct play here. Like, Kipu, the thing I don't want Kipu doing is what Kipu is doing right here. And because they're about to go down, like, we've already seen this part of the VOD, we know that's about to happen. But we also know that if they get Booyah here, that Booyah is going to win them this game because it makes this defense so much easier. Now people have traded out crabs.
Just look at this crab. Just pause it here. So the crab rolled onto the tower, booped 2 members of Synergy off tower. Gray rolled back. You think Gray is gone from that Booyah. You think Synergy's got the jumps in. We're under 20 seconds left. We're at 36 to the 38. The 36 being Armageddon. And the jumps are in. But the crab lived.
There's no way. So Synergy ends up breaking second checkpoint.
And they have to leave because the crab's online still.
Yeah. So Armageddon is now behind, and they have to be really aggressive here. Like I said, I want Kipu off this tower and on stack. Because if Kipu can get set up on stack, I think their odds of winning this game are pretty good.
If Papa Hotel fell there, this game was in a completely different boat.
Oh, absolutely.
We're gonna raise. We're gonna take a long time on this one. I sped you through that. We kept you moving.
So the big thing I want to see here, I want to get this crab tank on tower. I think Crab Tank here on tower is like the play, because my problem right now is, guess who has Booyah Bomb? Kippu. Guess who can't use Booyah Bomb while they're on tower? Kippu. So we have a special that's completely not helpful because we're standing on tower. Also, if I'm on the front line for Armageddon, I want to climb this tower to cross snipe to make this defense so hard. Because just imagine, I know every person in chat has probably been in the position where the enemy frontliners have cross snipe, and now the map, you just don't know what to do. You just put an immense amount of pressure on the enemy trying to defend second checkpoint.
Yeah. And we see Respect just getting so pressured out.
And here, there it is. Genesis. There it is. Genesis with the flank.
All right. Go.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to watch that again and again.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that at full speed just to see for myself. But I back it up a little bit and let's go through this. So, Genesis gets the late flank. They cross. That wall is huge, by the way. So that they get Respect, which is huge. It is literally a 3v1.
Yep. It's not a 3v1 though, because you know how Kippu dies? Killer Whale.
And again, this is why I didn't want Kippu on tower, because Kippu didn't use Booyah Bomb. We had a special that push that was just completely not helpful. But guess what happens if Kippu uses Booyah Bomb here? The splash dies.
They're at 99 for Booyah.
Yeah, because they died, so they don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Leading into the push, they had it. Like right now, they have it.
Yeah.
Leading into this push, I think if Kippu gets Booyah Bomb, and A, we don't die to Whale, and then B, I think we can actually manage the splash.
I was just how do you not die to Whale? And Papa Hotel gets 3 in that fight. Got 3.
Yeah, no, like this game was looking so bad for Synergy, and then Papa Hotel just said, "You know what? I know what's going on here. I understand."
I saw it there, and I was like, "The GG, this game's over."
No, and the best part is they bounce off the crab onto tower.
Yes, they took damage from that, and they bounced the crab backwards.
Yeah, no, because that's how the crab doesn't touch tower.
Yeah. Like, if not, it would have been a different game. Completely different game. Bounces Gray backwards, uses that, and gets on the Genesis. Genesis, she can't have the Gal RNG in her favor, and the perfect jump accuracy from the splash wins against the Gal.
Do we think that's intentional? That doesn't feel intentional.
Mid-level's just built different.
They're just built different?
Mid-level's just built different.
They're just built different.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Something I want to do. So we looked at the last 10 seconds. Synergy wins the tournament. They secure first place points. I kind of want to look a little bit more at the Synergy push.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to look a little bit more at the push that gets them all the way. So right here, I want to point out how we have Bunny B on stack and just fighting around it. Just constantly just wall suppressing, now inching tower forward, forcing drops from Armageddon. Like, Armageddon knows they need to commit forward, but they don't have a safe place to do it. And now another crab from stack. Something else I'm thinking about. Another really good place for Kippu to stand if they don't stand here, or anyone from Armageddon, especially the crabs, is go up on this box. Because what this does is it gives us a fantastic
left wing.
Yeah, left wing. It gives us a fantastic overview onto our stack, and then an even better view onto the checkpoint. Like, I think this left wing is super undervalued as a defensive position, because this left wing would give Armageddon another angle of attack. And I think that's something they desperately need right now, because right now they're funneling really hard and they just can't find a foothold anywhere else. But like, again, imagine if we have a crab on that left wing with just a really good view onto stack, and then we as Armageddon don't have to feed onto tower here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what it comes down to, is everyone in Armageddon is standing in the same spot, and they jump in one by one, and the machine is like, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. And then just the kills come through.
This crab saved the tower from going so much further, though.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and again, just imagine. So the crab is sitting.
Just imagine if the crab was already up there.
Yeah, just imagine if that crab is already up there. Because now we don't have the problem suppressing stack, because we can just get up there instantly, and we can continue to move through. Like, again, I think this game was really winnable from Armageddon if we just, I think, positioned slightly differently.
Yeah, this set was insane, though.
Oh, absolutely.
You can tell how it's a game within a game.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna have to watch the rest of the series back on my own time.
Yeah.
But, like, just the rest of this play, Papa Hotel just comes in so clutch. Like, Papa Hotel, honestly, defensive MVP on the flank. Because there's that Armageddon push, like, around, 2.5 minutes? On where Papa Hotel just came in on a massive flank to deny crab, and then the rest of the team just flooded into mid, which was absolutely fantastic.
Honestly, when J-Man and I were able to commentate this series, and that final game, J-Man and I were like, oh, it's 3-1, it's done, and Papa Hotel, it was just nuts. Everyone thought it was 3v1, this is done. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even see the crab boop until later on.
Well, and that's the fun thing about looking back, is because you don't see it until you watch the tape. Like, that's one thing in game where you're too hyped to notice it. Because that final moment where Papa Hotel just comes in huge is, like, incredible.
Yeah, that's that. Brine Water was so heavily Armageddon. It was really a slight splatling diff, and I don't like saying that, but Heavy versus Hydra. Heavy versus Hydra, the Heavy can't touch the Hydra on Brine Water zones. And Synergy had nothing to move the Hydra out of position. So Kipu just said, I sit here and I shoot over zone. If you sit in zone behind that back wall, I'm going to throw an auto bomb at you or a booyah bomb, or my teammate's going to find you.
Yeah.
If you go anywhere near zone, I shred you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ended up watching it, and I was like, wow, like, the booyah bombs from Kipu in game 1 were incredible. Because they were the retake every single time was Kipu booyah bombs into back zone, and then the rest of the team paints the front side of zone, and it just flips. And Synergy looked lost, almost. Mm-hmm. Like, it was awesome.
Rainmaker Undertow was crazy. We did have back-to-back Rainmaker games. Neither team broke a checkpoint until, like, the end of the game.
I know, and it made me sad. Because I watched the Rainmaker Undertow game, and it's just one of those things. I'm like, guys, why are we scared of the fish? What's going on here? We have openings. Touch the fish. Just, it won't hurt you. I promise. Just touch the fish.
It was crazy because I forget which team did what, but one team wanted to push right and the other team wanted to push left. And for the team that wanted to push right, left was always free. And the team that wanted to push left, right was always free. It's like, just open your minimap. You've called out that there are 4 guarding the checkpoint that you're trying to target. Just swim. Just swim. We had X-ray. We have the X-rays because we can see where all the members are. But, like, right checkpoint is not... Don't push right on Undertow 98% of the time. But if 4 members are left...
Yes.
And no one has a checkpoint, get the checkpoint on the right.
Well, yeah, and so that's the big thing. Whenever I talk about Rainmaker, especially Rainmaker Undertow, I'm like, unless, like, and in my opinion, unless you just it's free real estate, like all the way up through left to break checkpoint, I always like to favor the right side of the map until like 2 minutes have passed, just because of how much fighting goes on. And like Rainmaker is generally called a very what's the word I'm looking for? I completely forgot.
I can give you a dictionary. I don't have one, but Google helps.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Rainmaker is generally called very swingy, I think is probably the best word. And I think the big reason for that is because not a lot of teams have realized how to defend Rainmaker yet. Because and there's also a lot of teams too where I think Rainmaker could even be a more polarizing mode, but I feel like a lot of teams let the Rainmaker reset too often. Like when the other team goes 3 down or 4 down, that's the perfect opportunity to pick up the Rainmaker and get a lot of points.
Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if the timer has changed in 3, and I should really look this up. But in S2, it took 15 seconds from the shield opening to the Rainmaker resetting. Then let's add a couple more seconds to repop the shield in mid. How many maps were there in S2 and now in S3 where it takes approximately 20 seconds to go from your base to mid? 0.
Oh.
Like, so you can always make up ground when you pick up the Rainmaker. Because you don't have to win a second fight. Or if you do have to win a second fight, now you have a Rainmaker. A Rainmaker is a really powerful weapon.
Off topic. What is the more powerful Rainmaker? Rainmaker 1 or Rainmaker 2.0?
Rainmaker 1.
Okay, good. I was going to say Rainmaker 1 was just better.
Rainmaker 1 is much more intimidating.
Oh, so yeah, you got 4. Like, getting a quad with Rainmaker in S1 was just, like, yeah, it's normal.
So, just for anyone who wasn't aware, the Rainmaker in Splatoon 1 was a giant tornado of ink. Like, huge. Like, what's a good comparison? Think it's like as wide as think about a Rainmaker, but it shoots trip strikes.
No, that's like similar to this one. Because like
no.
What?
I mean, the cylinder of trip strike.
Oh yeah.
That's what Splatoon 1 Rainmaker shot. Which is mind-boggling, but yeah. To any teams listening, if you want to get better at Rainmaker, my only tip for you is touch the fish. Just do it.
Don't touch the fish. Touch the fish.
Yes. But like, when in doubt, pick it up.
I like the Grisco Slosher analogy. Grisco Slosher, but 4 times the size.
Yes. Yeah. So. But yeah. That's my Rainmaker rant. I get very opinionated about Rainmaker. I think not enough people play the mode and respect the mode. But that's a kind of controversial opinion, I think.
We did see Synergy play 52 gal or 96 gal on Undertow and Hagfish.
Mm-hmm.
That was a interesting pick. And then we saw the heavy comeback out again for Clam Scorch.
Mm-hmm. I think 96 gal is a decent pick because right now I think Vacuum is kind of similar to Big Bubbles in S2. It plays a similar role where you vac a teammate through a choke, and then they're literally invulnerable for a couple seconds. Now, the main problem that Vacuum has right now is that it gets stuffed by Crab, like a lot. Which is
it can protect your teammate from the Crab, but your teammate has to shoot the Crab because as soon as your ink vac fills, you just die to Crab immediately.
Yeah, and like that's kind of the problem with it right now. Is it gets stuffed. But I like Vacuum. I think in a world where Crab doesn't exist as much, ink vac probably is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. It's really cool because if you send a Rainmaker forward and they fill the vac, the Rainmaker gets shot. You shoot your vac where the Rainmaker died, you can usually, if the first like direct contact hits the Rainmaker shield, the second explosion will pop that thing. If the first direct doesn't, like a suction bomb plus like maybe one shot of a splatter shot, it is yours. It is fully yours. So as long as your teammates just look at it for half a second, even if you lose your vac user and your original Rainmaker carrier, if the other team just jumps on that Rainmaker too quickly, it's over. Because I've seen too many teams on Scorch Gorge be like, "Oh, the Gal or the tent or the charge are vacking." You fill up the vac, then you see the person who vacked and the person who carried it go down, but everyone else is just like clustered in that main choke point in Scorch. And then the final two teammates are like, "Well, we just won the game because there's two of us left, and you all died to Rainmaker pop."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, with it, I think we are done our VOD review. We could sit here. I know Rays could sit here and VOD review.
Oh, there's still
20 minutes to do one TC makeup. 20 minutes.
There's still I could talk about the series for 2 hours probably. Because I could go through each game and talk for like 40 minutes.
The Leafs game starts at 7. It is 5:55, so I am here till then.
What?
The Toronto Maple Leafs play at 7 o'clock. I'm here
Ah.
it's 5:55 right now.
Yeah. Alas, I don't think our viewers should be. So I think anything else before we sign off, Jeannie?
I want to make sure that people sign up for the tournament. Besides signing up for the tournament, send us your replay codes. Tag them put them in the. Do we have a replay code system somewhere?
I'm pretty sure.
I know for our every bracket finals, I'm gonna look at gold. I'm gonna watch the gold bracket. Not the gold, like silver and bronze brackets. I'm gonna look at the finals match. So send me your replay codes if you're in that. Their staff will be in chat saying that as well. Send us your Twitch links so then I can watch. I know I'm gonna watch. I don't know if Ray's gonna watch. But I know I will be watching everyone's games and everyone's feeds because I want to see what everybody's running. So when I see them later on in the tournament, I can really get a good feeling of what people have been playing. We didn't see as many triple splashes didn't exist. I don't think mid-level wanted to play triple splash.
No, there's a lot of double splash, but I don't remember seeing any triple splash.
Besides the TOs being goats and bowling being an absolute goat for streaming not only all of our podcasts but the tournament as well. I don't have I don't really think I have anything else to say.
Yeah. Then I think that means it's time for us to sign off.
Yeah. Rays, where can the lovely people find you?
I am on Twitter and Twitch at Rays_splat. I'll be trying to do more analysis of these SAC sets as they happen. So I did a stream earlier this afternoon going over 2 sets that we didn't see here, being Espresso versus Data. That was Swiss round 3. Armageddon A2P in Winners round 1. So if you're interested in seeing what I thought about those sets, go look at my Twitch VOD or recommend other VODs for me to watch live on stream that I can break down for you.
And for me, you guys can find me at Genie7, GEENIE7 _ on Twitter, no _ on all other socials. I had a surprise last week. We didn't have a stream for SOS, so I did it at Couchcast with Jorian and Falco. That was a absolute blast. So don't be afraid to stop in on my Twitch because I do fun stuff. I do pre-shows sometimes for some Dapple events, and my team's on the cusp of Ludi playoffs, so we have some spicy sets. We have 2 more games in our reschedule week, and we have fate. We control our own destiny to make playoffs. We win in any order. Doesn't matter if we win in game 9 or game 5. We win, we're in. So there'll be 2 spicy Ludi sets to watch out for this coming end. But with that, enjoy the week off of SOS, everybody, and enjoy the podcast.